What is going on, comic fam? It's your boy, the bearded comic bro, and I am joined by comic creator Travis Gibb. Welcome back to the show, my friend.
How are you, good sir?
Dude,
it's been a long time. It's been about a year, I think. Right?
It has. It's been a way too long because last time I had you on, we were talking about Broke Down.
Broke Down 4.
Yeah, and that was a lot of fun. And you had a handful of Kickstarters in between there.
Sure.
And we're back for another Kickstarter. But we're going to be talking about Granite State Punk today. And I'm excited to hop into that. But before we do, man, just what's been going on? How's your past year been with comics?
Oh, it's been great. Last year was super successful. We did 4 Kickstarter launches. We did Broke Down in 4 Dead Bodies. Number 4, we did Voodoo Nation 3. We did Expired, it's a new sci-fi books that we had, and then we had Holiday Spirit. So we had a huge year last year. This year we're trying to top it. In fact, I'm looking at my list right here. So we have Granite State Punk in January. I've got a book called Tales of the Collective, which is like a collective anthology for our comic store. Cthulhu Invades Wonderland is coming out. Voodoo Nation 3. The Broke Down Trade. We got a book called Pop Van Winkle. I've got a mystery book in October that I haven't announced yet. And then in November, we're doing another Holiday Spirit so well. So like I'm doing one every 6 months. Like I'm getting higher and higher. I'm almost going to be monthly, not like a book monthly, just random books monthly.
Right, man, that's exciting. And I mean, a lot of these are coming out of the company that you Orange Cone Productions, right?
Correct. Yeah, all those are coming out of Orange Cone Productions except for the comic store one. And though it is labeled Orange Cone inside, it's not official.
Nice. So, oh man, I'm excited. Like, you seem super freaking busy. But it's always good to have you on the show. We are in a handful of chats and Discord, so we're always talking, but it's good to have you face to face with a computer screen.
Well, and we've talked about this before. I'm on other shows, but you are my favorite person, right? Because you always have my back. No one else gets me but you know.
I understand you, and you are my mentor of training me how to play Strike Force. So
right. Yeah. Anytime you need Strike Force advice, you know, I am here. Marvel Strike Force, I highly recommend it. There's a whole group that's playing it. I am too good for them because I'm like, you know, advanced.
You're the Mr. Miyagi level.
Right. In current Mr. Miyagi from Cobra Kai, like I'm already done my whole thing dead, and you're still talking about me because that's how important.
That's like we haven't even met you yet, Mr. Miyagi. That's where we're at, Daniel Russo style. But, right. Oh man, but I almost was late to this interview because I was still playing, and I can't see my phone what time it is on my phone.
Did you have a war? It's wartime. Do you have a war?
I didn't. I'm just trying to build up my characters right now. So.
All right. Who do you got? Who's your top?
My top right now is Gamora's up there.
With my advice, Gamora is
Gamora key. Is up there. Hulk is up there just because I got a lot of Hulk stuff early on.
Well, and Hulk is good for the counter. You know, he hits big and he's got a good counter. So if you can get him up there early game, he's really good. Late game, he's not so good, but early he's really good.
Yeah, so I'm forgetting, but I'm trying to build up to get to some teams and have some elite teams. So I'm working on my Guardians of the Galaxy team. I'm working on my Sinister Six team. So baby stepping it.
Yeah. So I've got a question to ask you before we get into this.
That's go for it.
To me. And I have specifically not viewed your Twitter to get this answer directly from you. This Riddler costume. Tell me about it. What do you think?
Oh, so you're talking the Batman movie, the new.
Yeah. You're gonna have to show an image you're gonna have to show an image.
Yeah. So I'm a classic for the old school. Frank Gorshin is my Riddler.
Sure.
Like that's the iconic aspect. I will say, I don't think that costume would have fit the tone of this movie. So I'm comfortable with the route that they took it because you're not going Batman Forever with this movie. You're not going Batman 66. And even some of the cheesy, not even cheesy, but even some of the more like serious style Batman games like Arkham game, they try to like make the Riddler look, more menacing, but not as.
The Riddler is too cool to show up for those games. He just throws clues around. I'm too good to show. You have to be. 375 clues before you can see me.
It's so hard, but if you do get to see him, he's still, I mean, he's like half the time he's in like a Hawaiian shirt, like, so it just, as they're kind of go the more the gamer, you know, computer YouTube nerd. But I think it fits for this out. It's definitely not like your quintessential Riddler costume.
Sure.
But I think that's okay for this movie because I don't think you want it to be, because it would be not the right style. You know, you see that with what they're doing with the Penguin. You see what they're doing with Catwoman. You know, they're not leaning into they're doing the X-Men costumes when they first came out, where they're like, we're not wearing yellow and blue. we're leaning away from it. So I'm okay with it. Do I love the costume? No. I mean, I'm a classic Riddler costume, but I like it for this movie.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a costume. I think it's a scene thing that he's wearing. I don't think it's a costume.
Yeah.
I don't think the Riddler's gonna have a costume. I think he's just gonna be a guy. I think that's a scene where he wears it. But
yeah, I think it's gonna be good. I'm excited. I'm stoked. I'm giddy.
Well, you should be. I mean, it is like the Riddler is the focus. They're trying to go,
and we haven't had that in a long time. And I wish we had more comics with the Riddler in it. I wish we had just more Riddler. So when I saw that that's what they're doing with this, I'm like, let's go.
Right, sure.
So,
because the easy thing when you're doing dark is just, if you don't want to use Joker, go Scarecrow. You know,
right.
That's the easy mix.
So. Which surprisingly, I mean, I know they leaned into Scarecrow with Batman Begins, and then they kind of but like they, you know, I feel like I was shocked that they haven't utilized the Scarecrow more often. I know they were going to with in a movie that they were pitching before. Right. Batman Begins and stuff, but they were going to do like a Scarecrow and Man-Bat movie, right, which would have been buck wild. But yeah, so I'm excited to see what they do with the Riddler.
I have just fell in love with Man-Bat. I never liked Man-Bat until the Man-Bat series came out.
Yeah,
and that series was so good. Just the mental, like, and like Harley Quinn, like that one scene where Harley Quinn's like being the psychiatrist for a minute. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get in your head real quick."
Yeah, it's funny because the only other person that I know actually likes the Man-Bat, I was talking at the shop one time to Daryl Banks, and he's like, my favorite Batman villain is Man-Bat, and I was like, dude, you never get that. No one says that.
Right.
But I think the character brings a lot to the table if it's used properly. So
yeah, I think his own series, his own thing works really well. I mean, Man-Bat is the Spider-Man villain that's in the DC universe, right? He is the Vulture. He is the Lizard. You know, he's all the we have to fix our ailments.
Yep. He literally could have been. He probably was in the multiverse movie. I just didn't see him.
Right. He's probably there.
He was probably in No Way Home. I'm sure he was.
He was there. He was just in the sand. Like, it's really hard to get out of that sand. You know, the Sandman's everywhere.
Spoiler alert. You guys just ruined it. You told me Man-Bat was in a movie. Oh man. Well, I feel like we could go down these rabbit holes forever. And I would say people don't want to sit here and hear me talk about Batman, but if they're on my channel, they probably do, because that's all I talk about.
They've done it before, at least.
They're like, oh, this is just a new setting. Okay, we like it. But let's hop into your book, Granite State Punk.
Yeah. Let's talk about Granite State Punk.
At the time we're recording this before, but when this airs, it'll be in the midst of the Kickstarter going. So
yeah. We're trying to raise $3,000 on the Kickstarter,
okay.
So it's a little bit more than I normally try to go to 2,500. And Granite State Punk is kind of a cool little thing. So it's written in kind of an SLC Punk fourth wall breaking type thing. So he's going to talk to you in the audience, and it's kind of a story about it. This guy, his name is Zeke, and he just got out of prison. He was a drug and alcohol. Oh man, he was a maniac, typical punk, drugs, alcohol all day, party every day. He is released, and to be able to be released and to be fine, he has to stay at his parents' house. His parents have died, so he's there kind of with the memories, and you start to find out that maybe there's more to him than all that. So you start to figure out there's some magic in it, there's some monsters in it. It takes place in New Hampshire, hence Granite State. So we do the Old Man in the Mountain, which is, do you know what the Old Man in the Mountain is? A lot of people don't. So
No,
it's okay
I think you just sent an email because I think I saw a picture. I didn't get a chance to see that, so talk to us about it.
Yeah. So in New Hampshire, if you're from New Hampshire, I was born and raised in New Hampshire, and this is set in my hometown. Like this is like I'm retiring from comics, right? This is my last thing. This is for my homies. There's on any license plate, on any of the coins, on anything you've seen of New Hampshire, if you've like look at it, there's a face in a mountain, and it was there forever. So this face was there since the 1800s, and it's been there for a real long time. And in 2003, it fell off. And now this is everywhere. This is on all our monuments. It's on all our if you go through and drive through the state to speeding, like the emblem of the face is everywhere. Like it is iconic in the state, and it fell off, and they decided not to repair it. So in this story, what we do is we have the Salem witch trials. I don't want to spoil too much, but the Salem witch trials are very close to New Hampshire. And basically in this story, this face was protecting all the witches that hid from Salem in New Hampshire. So when that face fell off, what happens? What does that look like? And what does this punk kid have to do with any of that stuff?
That's awesome.
Real like stuff and adding some lore. In fact, it was so, what I love about it, my wife is the editor. She read it and she's like, oh, cool. Can I read up on the original lore of this? I'm like, no, I wrote it. No, she's like the story where it came from, like the folklore. I know, babe, I wrote it, which is weird. I was like, all the other stuff you never question whether or not it's real. I don't know anything about voodoo. But somehow, if I do something about an actual mountain, they're like, no, we got.
I need to fact check this a little bit, I guess.
So yeah, that's kind of what it is. It's a one shot, which is really cool. If you've never read me before, like this is the book. Like, okay. And I'm not saying that to be boasting or anything. Like this is the best effing thing I've ever written. Like it really is. It's powerful. It's funny. It's witty. It's pop culture. You've got to read a few pages, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So it's witty and it breaks ground. It's very pop culture. We reference Hamilton and Game of Thrones and like so. There's some really cool Easter eggs in there that you'll have a lot of fun. And then you get a hot chick and you get a monster. Like what else do you want?
I mean,
and punk rock and drinking and. He's on house arrest, so his little leg beeper is going to beat throughout the whole thing. Like, it's good stuff.
Does he teach himself magic on house arrest like Paul Rudd does?
Spoiler. We can't get into that.
Oh, okay. I don't want to ruin it.
Right. There's just a black page that says montage. Then we just little panels.
That's so good. So what I'm hearing is if people have picked up your stuff before and said this is crap, that they want to still come back to this because this will be the best thing you've written.
Right. And if I don't sell you with this, like
just don't.
We're done professionally. It's fine. It's
cool. We'll part ways.
We'll part ways. We'll see what's going on. I've been there, it's not you, it's me, I do that every couple of years with my X-Men runs, I'm just like,
So this is either your love letter to your comic fans or it can be a breakup letter to you.
Right, exactly. Like, go back to the X-Men motif, I was all with them. And then one day I'm reading my X-Men and I'm like, oh, we're at war with vampires. Why are my mutants fighting vampires? I was done. We were done professionally. I went back years later, thought it was a very good story. But you know what? My X-Men shouldn't be fighting vampires. Blade should not be on the cover of all my X books. It's not possible. And not for like a 4-issue arc, for a year and a half. Like, it's not okay.
Oh, man.
These are how I feel about things, Unlike, this is why you read Batman. If it's bad, it just gets started Detective Comics. It's fine. Right.
If it's not good, I'll hop over to Detective Comics. And if that's not good, there's 6 other miniseries out, right. Each week, a different one each week that I can pick up. And I'm like, this is it.
Yeah, Nightwing, Batman has to appear in Nightwing every 3 issues per contract. So it's
he pops up in Superman Son of Kal-El because he's like, guys, we can't have a DC book go on too long without me popping up in here, please. So thank you.
I really want Batman to show up in Nightwing now that Nightwing's rich and has to borrow money. I need to see that scene.
Hey Dick, can you give me some money that Alfred gave me?
Right. Like I adopted you, right? Like I've been taking care of you this whole time. Like I just need like one extra Batmobile. Like it's getting really hard. They've got the Riddler mobile and it is out lapping me. So I just need, one Batmobile.
He's the dad whose kid's now successful and is like, hey, remember all the stuff I did for you before? Oh man. So let's talk about Granite State a little bit more.
Okay.
We'll hop into Kickstarter in a bit, but let's talk about the art, because you sent me some pages. I saw you sent me some covers, and good golly, they are beautiful.
Yeah. So the artist that I hired is Patrick Vermeer. He's been known for Discordia, which is a great book. It's kind of how to describe it. It's kind of a like 1800s, like vintage Victorian age, like monster book. So there's a monster every issue, and it's tied into this bigger universe, but you don't know what it is. I love the art. I thought his art was fantastic. I hired him for Cthulhu Invades Wonderland. He's doing the March Hare story. And when I saw those 4 pages, I was just like, I need to give you money and you need to do a book with me. And I honestly, and I said this to him too, the modern setting is good for him. Like he does really well in that. And it feels like, off air, we're talking about it. It feels like a Black Caravan book, right? It feels like, the Electric Black, or it feels like that kind of art, the Joseph Smelke kind of art style. So it's kind of dark. It's kind of scratchy. It's very, very good and unique art. These are the most money I spent for pages, and it's worth every penny. They are beautiful, beautiful pages.
Yeah. So I know you sent me 3 covers. Are they all going to be available in some tier or form in the
Yeah. So let's go. So that's cover A. So that's Patrick's cover. So that's the main artist cover. As you see, it's a dope cover with skeletons. He's on a skeleton.
Well, and it almost looks like, even on some of the skeleton, like that, it's almost like see-through kind of through the characters, like as they merge. It's just stunning.
It's very cool. And let me tell you something even cooler. So it's not done for this interview, but it'll be done for the Kickstarter. There is going to be a version of that's going to be black and white, punkified. So I hired Eric Cockrell, who does a book called Blister. Sorry. Rancid is a band who is a punk rock band who is fantastic. It's called Blister, and he does a punk rock comic book. So I wanted him involved, but his stuff is very like Charlie Brown, like cartoony, which is cool. Like I love it. Does not fit the vibe of this book as you've looked at. Like, they do not vibe.
That would not.
Doing a cover is, people are going to be like, why is this there? He's going to be doing a punkified version. So he's going to take the black and white and he's going to add some punk lines and all some cool stuff.
Sweet. Nice.
Which is really cool. Cover B. This is a gentleman I just met. So this is the first time I've ever went out to Twitter to ask for a cover.
Oh, nice.
So it's a guy named Brian Durmas. He's done a few covers for a couple of different indie books, but nothing. No one that I've heard of. I'm not saying they're not good. I just haven't heard of them.
Yeah.
So this is the first one he's done. I loved his punk style. He has this really cool thing. So he's got a very, very punk rock, him and her, and right in the front it swears. Oh, I can swear on this, right?
Yeah.
So right there it's going to say "Live Free or Die, motherfucker." So if you know New Hampshire's motto, "Live Free or Die," it's going to say right there, "Live Free or Die, motherfucker." It's going to be a beautiful like punk rock, like it's kind of like my album cover, right?
Okay. Yeah. You can see how it is, because like what I've been seeing, at the time are the the Virgin variant covers of these, and I can just picture that on that, and it's gonna look so sweet.
Right. And the last one is as I told you, I have a hot chick and I have a monster, so you got to put those together. I wanted like the Secret Avengers, the Avengers #1 from Bendis 5.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if you see that in that, if you look at it. So it's like a lightning and you kind of see a little bit of the monster, you don't see him fully.
Now that you say that, okay.
Yeah. It's something you're like, I like this. I don't remember why I like this, but I like it. So it's got kind of that vibe. I ended up showing more of the monster than I wanted to, because like the artist of that is so good. He is literally, you're going to see him do a cover for everything I do. I hired him for the Stake tour. I don't know if you know this, but I did. I'm really good friends with, from Scout Comics, David Byrne, and I did the Stake tour for him. I put it together, and we hired that artist to do an exclusive cover for a small comic store up in Jacksonville.
Oh, that's sweet.
And once I saw that guy's art, I was like, you're doing every cover for me. So he's going to do this. He's got a Voodoo Nation. He'll probably be broke down. Like, he's my dude now. Like, I love his art. He's got
Whoa,
this scratchy.
I'm your dude. He's your second dude.
He's my art dude.
Okay, that's fine.
You're just my dude.
My dude.
My guy.
I'm insecure. You hurt me for a second.
No, I understand. Your love of the Ninja Turtles and me, like that can't be broken. And I remember when we just randomly just destroyed on a trivia, and then we're like, we don't need prizes.
We are the prize.
Give it to other people.
Our friendship is the prize.
Right. Because people were like, why? That's not fair. We can't compete with them. Like, why? They can read the same books that we can. That's not fair. Like, we don't have some insider information. Right. We don't get it hijacked into our head. What's new this week?
It's just what we do. It's just what we do. But no, so he's your art dude, which as you can tell from the cover, there's a reason.
Right. Yeah, no, he's good.
So go ahead.
But let's talk about one more.
Yeah, go for it.
So you can do this. If you guys are watching this and you're not a friend of mine, you can find me on Substack, Travis Gibb. I am going to release a cover that I'm only going to show on the Substack.
Ooh.
So this is a new thing that I'm doing. I'm only going to show it on the Substack, and then you can order it on the Kickstarter as a like add-on. So, but you'll never be able to see the cover if you don't go to the Substack. So if you want to add that cover, you have to be part of the Substack.
So even on the Kickstarter, it'll be a blank, like, and it'll just say the Substack cover or something that.
Yeah, it'll be on the add-ons, because add-ons, you don't add pictures. If I don't put it on the front, it's not there. Yeah, there so I'll just say you have to be a member of the Substack member cover. It's going to be priced at $10. I'm going to keep it really middle of the road. And I am only printing those for the Substack in 5. That's it. So I'm only printing 5 extra for damages. So we're going to keep it really low, and then I'm going to reveal that print run to the Substack when it's done. I want like 5 people to do it. Like, I really want this cover to be super, 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 super limited. So that's going to be something cool we're going to try out with this campaign. Substack's kind of new for me. I started doing Substack. I'm trying it out. I'm trying to see if I can monetize a little bit. I'm actually going to be creating a comic with my Substack fans.
Oh, cool.
I have like 4 different, here's what comics you want, which ones you want to vote on. And we're going to kind of build a comic together over the next year, which is pretty cool. Which I'm super excited to be part of, and super excited to get my fans to rock it. I realized that as I've been doing this, I'm really good at networking and connecting people together. So I was like, why don't we do one? A lot of people want to know what, they may not want to be comic creators, but they want to be part of the process.
Yeah.
You could be the part of the process with, a bigger guy, but they're always keeping something from you, right? They're always keeping a contract or this and that.
Right.
I want to do it 100% from scratch. Like, when it gets done, all right, we're done this comic. What do you guys want to do? Do we want to send it out to Scout, Source Point? Do we want to do the Kickstarter? What do we want to do with it? This is our book. What are we going to do with it? How are we going to do it? And I think that will be a really cool thing. So you guys are coming along the 100% journey of the creation of this book and where it goes.
So what is it like for someone who wants to join your Substack? What would that entail, or like what would that look like for them?
So yeah, there's a couple things. You can join for free. There's a free level. So that's what you're on, because you were on my mailing list before.
Yeah.
So there's a free level. You just join it. You sign up to my newsletter, and you're good to go. You're just going to get emails. Not a big deal. Now there's a level above that where you can pay to be part of it. So it's $5 a month. And what you get for that $5 a month, you get to vote on a whole bunch of things. You get to comment. You get exclusive podcasts that I do exclusively for that group. So I give extra benefits. And there's that, and there's like a yearly if you want to get a little different. So it's $5 a month, or I think it's like $50 total if you want to buy it for a year, just to get it out of your way. And that also gives you one of those free Substack covers too. You get one of those for free. So any one you want, you get one for free, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
Just an extra add-on. And that's, by the way, that's going to include the trades. So I'm going to have exclusive covers for the trades. So like, you can wait for something a little bit more valuable than the $10 one. So that's what they're going to get you, but it gets you part of the community, and it builds a separate community that kind of builds it. And I don't expect a lot of people. I'm not Donnie Cates. I'm not Jason Aaron, but I want like a good 10 people who want to kind of hang out with me, go on the journey, and let's hang out and let's build a comic together. And I'm going to try to make it worth your while to be part of that and make you part of it, even to the point of like, hey, I need a backup. You guys want to write it? Like, what does that look like? Who's going to do that stuff? So we're going to try to be involved. And I want to offer something from the perspective of someone who's doing really well on Kickstarter, right? I have not successfully got into any publishing company. They've always been like, hey, this deal's going to happen. I've told people off the air, hey, this deal's coming, be ready. And then it never happens because those things happen in comics.
Yeah.
Even more so now with the paper shortage. Like books are not like, they're not signing new people because of the paper shortage. Like,
right.
Why pay for a book that we can't print? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be part of that, and I wanted to see how I could give back and be part of that. My goal, like 100% my goal, is if I could buy one page of art from it, that's my goal from it.
Nice. That'd be a sweet.
Nothing crazy, it's low, but just to give your audience an idea of who don't know what Substack is. So Substack has emails for a lot of the big creators. So if you follow Donnie Cates, you get to watch him create a comic. You get to be part of their community and chat with Ryan Stegman as they do live draws. They do exclusive podcasts. If you do Jason Aaron's, he does all his Conan stuff and talks what it'd like to do a licensing deal. If you follow, who else do I follow? Scott Snyder. He does a class once a month to teach you how to make comic books. That's one of the guys. Jonathan Hickman, I am not part of his Substack, but from what I understand, he's creating an effing universe. And it's Jonathan Hickman. So like, that's going to be dope as hell. I just don't have an extra money because these things all cost.
Yeah.
But yeah. So every creator will have one. Let's say you don't care about any of that. You're like, I don't want to do any of that stuff. The other benefit of if you're a creator and you're watching this, their email list can do unlimited emails for free, send them out. So you don't have to do the paid thing at all. If you just want to send out emails, it is the best platform to do so because it'll send them all out because everything else charges after a certain amount.
Right.
Like MailChimp and all those. So it gives you a great opportunity to do that, as well as gives you kind of like a forum. It's kind of gives you like a message board.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
That's sweet. So, gang, if that's something that interests you, link will be in the description of this video for sure. Go check it out and go hang out with Travis.
Yeah, exactly.
So, well, we kind of
and you know what? Why don't we do this?
Okay.
Well, here we go. I can give out free premium on my Substack. The first person who leaves a comment says, I want to be on the Substack. That means I have to watch the video, not just say, hi, Bearded. Hi, Travis. You actually got to get to whatever moment in time we're at right now. And you leave a comment, say, hey, I'd love to be part of your premium Substack. I'll give it to you for free for you.
Nice. I have an idea who will be the first comment that will actually sit and watch this video, but I'm going to say off air so it doesn't. It's
Stevie.
No, I'm going to say it's my homie Jay. My homie Jay watches every single interview I do. And it just depends on the timing, but he will catch it at some point and be like, yeah. So he does a really cool YouTube channel, but he's sending me creators half the time, like, hey, you guys got to go interview with Bearded. And so I'm betting you Jay will.
All right. Well, I'd love to know Jay. Maybe Joe's a backer of mine. I don't know. I have Jays who are backers.
Yeah. So I'm that's who I'm calling. That's how I'm calling. Right. So prove me wrong.
Yeah, we can do that. Let's do that. So the first one, you guys let me know, and we'll get you guys added to the premium level and you get all the cool stuff.
Nice. That's what's up. Thank you. See, it pays to watch all the videos. Pays to watch it.
Right. Don't just say hi, Bearded, hi Travis, and move on. Someone like me would do that. Like I would go on to like a comic burrito and just say hi. And then I watch it later. They talk about me for 20 minutes and ask me questions and I don't reply. That's rude. Don't do that to somebody.
Don't support Travis. Don't be like Travis.
Right. Don't be like me. Be better. Be better, guys.
Be better.
Be better.
Oh man. So we kind of hit into the Kickstarter a little bit already with talking about, the covers and what I know you're bringing some dope Kickstarter tiers.
Yeah.
What are one or two that you're going to highlight? Cause I know you always got something up your sleeve.
Yeah. We're doing some cool stuff. I don't want to announce the stretch goals, but we're doing some cool punk related stretch goals. So stuff that you haven't seen before. So I'll give you that, but you'll be able to get most of the stuff we do stacking. So what stacking means is, you get cover A, and then if you pay a little bit more, you cover A and B, cover A, B, and C. Our collector's kit is going to come in a poly bag. It'll have A, B, and C. It'll have that punked cover. I'm also working on a writer's cover, which is going to be really cool, which is something new. So what the writer's cover is, I'm going to do the Granite State, and I'm going to write a whole bunch of words in there. that are kind of connected to it and draw it out. Like I'm going to do it. Like it's going to be my cover. Nice. So it'll be pretty cool. Hopefully it'll work out. I'm not that great of an artist, but hopefully it'll work out.
I like it. I'm digging it.
So you'll see that. So that'll be kind of a punk rock thing. And you've seen that, right? Where they have like an album and there's a bunch of words on the album, like that cover the people basically. So I'm going to do one of those.
My mind went a different direction when you said a Rider cover with like because I was envisioning like the Granite State Rock, the mountain that you were talking about earlier, mm-hmm. like how they did some of those. You remember the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle skyline? Yes, and they had all the riders on it.
Right. No. So yeah, it's
that's where my mind went to.
It's going to be exactly like that, except for I'm going to be writing punk words. So I'm going to be writing words that connect to the book, to Orange Cone. We're going to do one of those but I'm actually going to draw something too with it, but it's going to be in the Granite State. So it'll be really cool.
Nice. That's what's up. So
the Travis exclusive. So I can remarks, for $80, I can't draw anything but a Ninja Turtle, just for the record. I can draw a mean Ninja Turtle. I draw a great Ninja Turtle.
And that's the only thing you really need if you're getting a
right. You want to see it? You want to do it real quick?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. Can you see my board?
Oh, absolutely. Look at this, gang.
All right, ready? This is Travis 101. All right, here, let me back you up a little bit.
This is content you get on Substack with Travis.
Right, this is content, exclusive Substack content that you'll get. Me drawing Ninja Turtles because the only thing I draw. All right. So, Ninja Turtle, you start with the head like this, and then you got to buy like a watermelon here, okay? This is not great because I'm doing it fast, but then you got to get the little beads right here. You got to get the eye here, get the eye here, right here, pull the sides. Got to add the teeth, mouth, boom, 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 boom. Little triangles because you got to have them always angry. Bam, Ninja Turtle's face right there.
And I mean, I know the answer, but tell the fans at home, if you were going to color in that bandana, what color would it be?
So young me would have done, Michelangelo, like you should, but old me is angry and bitter at the world, so he's a Raphael.
There it is, gang. Raph's the best. Raph's the best.
Well, he is the best, right?
There's no way about it.
He doesn't need the turtles. That all the other ones need them to survive. Leonardo can't lead if there's no one to lead, right? Donatello, what is he going to do? He's just going to build things. If nobody tells him to build things to fight, he's not going to do it. And Michelangelo is basically mentally angry.
I mean, just think about the movie. If Raph didn't get angry and go storm off by himself, never would have had Casey Jones part of the crew.
Right. And Casey Jones is super important.
So,
by the way, like, can we talk about like that for a second? Like, I always think about why Casey Jones. Like, Casey Jones has a vast history where he's been like, yo, I like Casey Jones. Let's say him that. Like, no, that guy has a vast history that is not a guy in a hockey mask.
I've never watched an interview with them about why they went Casey Jones route, but
I'll ask him. We'll get that information. I'm going to see him later this year. So we will do that live. I'll videotape it. We're going to get that information for Bearden.
All right. Well, I'm going to see him at a con this year. So hopefully.
You're going to see him when?
He's going to be at Lexington Comic Con this year.
Okay. I've never heard of Lexington. Is that a good one?
It's getting back to it.
Okay.
It was a good one. They really didn't have a lot of comic creators this last year when they did in years past.
Right.
It was, I've met, Mitch Jared's there. I've met David Finch there. The year before we were scheduled to go, and then two weeks COVID hit. I mean, the lineup was Doc Shaner was going to be there. Tom King was going to be there. Kevin Eastman was going to be there. So like they, and this last year at Lexington, Matt Kent was there. So they get some big names in the comic creator, but it was only a couple this year. Like there was like Artist Alley was like probably at most 10 comic creators. And I was just like, come on, like you're a Comic Con. You got to have a little bit more than that. But so I think it just is getting back into it because it was an earlier con and, coming out of the pandemic and dealing with all of that. So,
Yeah,
But
all of them are like that. And like right now, they're like that. All the cons in January have half the guests canceling all the time
Yep.
because of COVID. So, and I don't know if you know this, but Rochester, New Hampshire, where this book is from, is right next to Dover, where the Ninja Turtles are from. So when I grew up, the Ninja Turtles were like literally the city over next to me. So I was in Rochester, they were in Dover.
Yeah.
So growing up, that's why I'm into indie comics is like that was an achievable thing. Those are guys who are at a comic store. Like,
yeah,
no one told me they weren't, you know? So like growing up, I saw Kevin Eastman until the cartoon came out. Like I knew about him slightly before the cartoon. Like I met them several times, used to have sketches from them.
Yeah.
That's how they taught me how to draw a Ninja Turtle. Like it's crazy stuff. So I have a big vibe.
nice.
So they were the first creators I ever met. You want to know who the second one?
I want to guess.
Okay, it's going to be hard to guess. And in fact, I'm going to have to look up his name just to remember.
Okay.
You may not know him. I can tell you what book he wrote because I don't think that gives it away.
Okay.
He wrote Punisher. Who do you think I met from the Punisher?
Mike Zeck.
Mike Zeck. No. That would be a good one, though. That would be a good one. Brett Booth was up in the air. I met him a few times too. No. So the favorite, everyone's favorite Punisher run, Michael Golden from Marvel Knights.
Oh.
The time that he, became an angel and was killing people with his space swords.
Yeah.
I met Michael Golden. No, and Michael Golden, by the way, like was huge because he was doing Buffy and all these things. Like he had a big line, and I literally stood with people going, "Yo, why are you destroying Punish?" It was the greatest.
Classic move. So, man, so we've talked Granite State Punk. We've talked a lot of stuff. We've talked the Kickstarter. We've talked the Substack. Is there anything else that we haven't gotten to tackle on that you're like, hey, I got to make sure I'm on Bearded Show. We got to make sure we talk about this.
Well, the one thing that I didn't mention, because we talked about covers and we got distracted with the Ninja Turtles drawing and everything.
Yeah.
So I started doing these a while ago. I don't think I have one right here, but medals. People love these medal covers.
Yeah.
We will have a metal cover, be hand numbered. It'll be its own thing, its own cover. In fact, I'll add that to the folder so you can show that off to everybody. But there will be a metal cover as well. And it is dope as hell. So there'll be a metal cover on the campaign as well for people who really like that. We started doing them in Voodoo Nations. People really loved it. So no, we did it at Brokedown. Your campaign with Brokedown was the first time we did the medals. Did it recently with Expired. So we'll have a metal version of the cover. So
nice. And now we have to change the title of the book to Granite State Metal. So
Granite State Metal. That's the sequel. Granite State Metal.
Spoiler alert. Dang it. I know it too well. I already knew it.
Well, yeah, no, I'm hoping to do a sequel. I have some ideas. I've got some really, really cool ideas. So hopefully we'll be able to do stuff. This is, like I said, this book is so important to me. Like,
yeah,
Broke Down was important to me because it was one of my first things I've ever written. But this is important to me because this is like, I've learned so much about writing comics and I have so much to say. And this is the first time where I let my guard down and be vulnerable. You know, the guy's angry at his parents because his parents were he used drugs and alcohol because of his upbringing. That's me. My parents were drug addicts. I was angry about it. So I resonate with that. And I wrote about it. It's in AA. My mom was in AA most of her life. So I know a lot about that culture and the way it is. My parents are dead. So I'm kind of a repercussion. So all these emotions are really, really put into this book. And I'm saying in a humorous way, like this book is super personal to me. And I think when you read it, you'll feel it. Like you'll feel the emotions in it, just in those pages that I sent you, like, you can feel the things I rant about the DARE program, things that I'm mad at in the world. Like this is my, this is just shit I'm mad about, and I'm not as smart as Alan Moore. So I don't hide it in, a 12-issue arc. And then you go, oh, that's what he's mad about. No. I just tell you what I'm mad about.
Yeah.
So really consider backing this, like more than anything else, like really back it. If you've never checked out any of my other work, Broke Down in 4 Dead Bodies, Voodoo Nations, all those will be as add-ons. So you can get all those in this campaign. But this book is something special. Like I really think it's special. I'm going to be shopping it around. I want to print very little. I want this to be very intimate. This book is not going to be like my other stuff. I'm not going to, it's a one and done. So it's kind of like here, let's share this experience together. But I don't want to, it's not a series. So I'm not going to be talking about it all the time.
Right.
Unless it gets picked up by somebody else. Like we're going to kind of move on. But it's a personal love letter to punk rock, to SLC punk, to all those things that I love and endure. So hopefully people will enjoy it.
Nice. Well, Travis, man, thank you for taking some time to share it. Gang, again, Kickstarter, by the time this video is airing, the Kickstarter is live. Back to
GraniteStatePunk.com.
Yep. It's in the description of this video. Go check out the Substack. Remember that special little deal. I'm not going to say what it is because I know some people like to skip to the end to see if there's any to stick around. See, we put it in the middle. You don't know. So
right. Yeah. So they want free stuff at the end.
Yeah. See, there people are tricky. Like they know the game now of how to watch a little bit at the end. Well, no, you gotta watch all the way through. So but man, thank you for taking some time. Gang, go join the Substack. I'm going to because I want to make Travis write Granite State ska next. I want a ska book. So that's just gonna be my suggestions all the time. Just ska. Like, why is it like everyone else is like just all these other legit topics? I'm like, do a ska book.
Right. You're just recommending crossovers of other books, like not even ones I own. Just like you should really have the Broke Down Guys and Recount. No, I don't own the Recount. No, but it'd be great, right? Jonathan, like call him.
Call him, make it happen.
Cthulhu Invades Broke Down 4 Dead Bodies. Let's do it.
That's a crossover you can make happen.
Right.
Well, Travis, I look forward to checking this out. I know I look forward to all the other stuff that you mentioned at the beginning of the show that you have coming out in 2022. It seems like it's going to be a stacked year for you, my friend.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on as always. You're one of the programs that I watch as often as possible. So I really appreciate it. I really appreciate that you take the time and you actually read and love comics.
Yeah.
And I say that like from the bottom of my heart. I do a lot of these interviews and I'm not trying to put anybody on the spot, but a lot of them don't even read the comics. Like they don't really read the scene. Like they read comics in the 90s and they want to have a YouTube channel. They're like, I like comics, let's talk about it. But you're not reading them. Like I love someone who can have an honest conversation. You and I could go on our pull list for this week and talk about everything from, crazy superior Dr. Octopus shenanigans to the last issue of Jeff Lemire's Batman and Robin, like all sorts of really cool stuff. And I appreciate that you actually love this medium and that the people you get are the people who are coming up and coming. I'm not just saying that because of myself, like the people who you do interviews are the people who I look as my competition, the people who are in this with me in the indie scene.
Yeah. And I appreciate that a lot. It's something that I love because I wouldn't want to be able to do YouTube if I didn't like comics because I just couldn't do it. So I appreciate, creators like you who take some time to sit down and talk with, channels like me and just have these conversations. So gang, go support the Kickstarter, go support Travis, and hopefully you can find some time to curl up, grab a book and nerd out. Peace.